morning. Today is the 6th September 2025. Unrestrained Chinese cyber attackers may have stolen data from almost every American. China has hacked into American power grids and companies for decades, stealing sensitive files in intellectual property such as chip designs, as it seeks to gain an edge over the United States. But a sweeping cyber attack by a group known as Short Typhoon is China's most ambitious yet. Experts and officials have concluded after a year of investigating it. It targeted more than 80 countries and may have stolen information from nearly every American. Officials said they see it as evidence that China's capabilities rival those of the United States and its allies. The Short Typhoon attack was a years-long coordinated assault that infiltrated major telecommunications companies and others. Investigators said in a highly usual joint statement last week. The range of the attack was far greater than originally understood, and security officials warned that the stolen data could allow Chinese intelligence services to exploit global communication networks to track targets, including politicians, spies, and activities. Hackers sponsored by the Chinese government are targeting networks globally, including but not limited to telecommunications, government transportation, lodging, and military infrastructure network. The statement said Britain and American officials have described the attack as unrestrained, and indiscriminate. Canada, Finland, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Spain were also signatories to the statement, which was part of a long-and effort directed at the Chinese government. I can't imagine any American was spared given their breadth of the campaign, says Sincere Kaiser, a former top official in the FBI cyber division who oversees investigation into the hacking. It was unclear whether the Short Typhoon hack was intended to store ordinary people's data or if that data was incidentally swept up in the attack, but its scope was broader than previous hacks, in which China more narrowly targeted Westerners working on secretary of other sensitive government issues. Mr. Kaiser said the Short Typhoon hack could signal a new era of Chinese cyber capability that will test its strategy drivers, including the United States Secretary expert said. It highlights China's ambitions for global influence, which were on display on Wednesday at an elaborate military parade in Beijing that featured fighter jets, tanks, and thousands of troops marching across Tiananmen Square. In many years, Short Typhoon typhoon marks a new chapter, said Jenny Follier, Bank, the former CIA deputy director for digital innovation. A decade ago, she noted, Western allies worried about China's self or trade secrets, personal information, and government data, which use more rudimentary technique. Today, we see patients stay back companies burrow deep into the infrastructure of more than 80 countries, characterized by a high level of technical sophistication, patience, and persistence, she added. The Chinese embassy in London did not respond to a message seeking comment. The statement from Western allies gave the fullest accounting yet of what the FBI has called China's cyber-espionage campaign. Investigators linked the short typhoon attack at the China-based technology companies that have been operating since at least 2019, but the operation was uncovered only last year. The joint statement said the company worked for China's military and civilian intelligence agents, which carry out forensic operations. The hackers' goal was to give Chinese officials the capability to identify and track their targets, communications, and movements around the world. The settlement said around the targets or phones used by prominent politicians, including President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, during their campaigns last year. The effort also took aim at Democrats. The attackers stole data from telecommunications and internet service companies, penetrating more than a half-dozen U.S. telecommunications companies alone. The hackers exploited vulnerability in the networks. The British authorities said they also hacked into logistics and transportation companies, among other targets. The hackers were able to listen in on telephone conversations and read an encrypted text message. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, had said the attack built on China's earlier hacks, said Jamie McCone, a senior research fellow in cybersecurity at Royal United Service Institute's an analytical group affiliated with the British military. For years, China has collected that data, says Mr. McCone said, intending to one day exploit that information. If you are a cyberpower, then it makes sense you would want to compromise the global communications network, he said. Chinese operators previously targeted American companies such as Marriott International Health Insurance and the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, which keeps government security clearance field. In 2021, the Biden administration accused the Chinese government of breaching widely used micro-email system. Russia's state-sponsored hackers have also carried all successful breaches. The US and British government and their close allies also have vast spying capabilities. It is not clear how Western countries responded to South Typhoon. The operation was more than a one-off intelligence success for China. Annie Neuberger, a Biden administration cybersecurity office, wrote recently in Foreign Affairs magazine. It reflected a deeper, troubling reality. She wrote, adding, China is positioning itself to dominate the digital battle space. Thanks for listening. Have a good life. Bye bye.